morning, good day, hello to you all. The Eric Zane Show podcast has begun for the now 1,177th time. We are rolling. Welcome to it. Darla already took a dump in this studio for now the second day in a row. Thank God Pooh Bear walked in to break up the party because that would have been a hot breakfast for her had Pooh Bear not walked in. So I guess now the new thing to do is, this is a change. Let her out first thing in the morning, which I do. Then she eats. Then I guess I have to let her out again. You see, it's a learning process. I'm not doing anything wrong. And so, yeah, I guess. Holy crap. Literally, holy crap. Son of a bitch. But okay, what a way to start the day. So before the show starts, I had to pick up poop, and then the cat puked. Kenny says, this is constant. This is what he said. Every time I talk about this, he didn't say it today, but he might not even be in here yet. But he goes, every time you talk about this stuff, it's always a reminder to me whenever I feel like I want a pet. I just hearken back to these stories. Yeah, they do make the life a little bit more complex, without a doubt. But I'm a mess. I love my dogs and cats so much. I mean, seriously, it's like now to a point where with 4, it's like I'll never be less than 4. Because we have 4 now, so everybody assumes, oh, well, if one happens to go to the Rainbow Bridge, just get another one. Now, I don't know if I want to go that route again. I was just thinking about that. You know, in the inevitability of pets going to the Rainbow Bridge, I have to resist the urge to just new dog it, like new doggy, if one goes to the Rainbow Bridge. That's what we did with Daisy. I mean, it wasn't even close. So I think it would be more appropriate with 2. Not that, I mean, you see, it's like, I don't want to give you the idea that I don't like having 4. I mean, this is we have more animals by far. We have double the amount of animals in this house than we do people. We are just 2 humans, 3 humans, 2.5 humans with living in dog beds. We are in their territory in this house. My God. Yeah, we kind of have a problem here. But, all right. That's how it goes. Today is my beloved stepmother, Joanne's birthday. 88. November 16. Today, she turns 88. Never forget when I first met her. The thing about Joanne is she has been remarkably consistent. Very loving, happy-go-lovey. That's happy-go-lucky. Always fun and engaging, even when I was a little boy. I was like 9 years old, 10 years old when I first met Joanne. And she was always been very, very cool. Just the coolest customer you could find. You know, so as it was growing up, when my mom and dad got divorced, my mom was so goddamn pissed at my dad over leaving her and divorcing her. Man, mom, you know, I don't know. I've never been divorced, so I don't know what it's like. But the way it worked out in my house is, boy, it was just a goddamn tsunami of negativity. Because, like, mom was pissed, and there's 4 boys in this house. when I was 8. I'm the youngest. You got the oldest is 20. And then the next oldest is 18. All right? Those are my mom's kids from her first marriage. No blood relation to my dad. My dad adopted these two. Then you got Jim, when my dad leaves, who's 12, and EZ is 8. Now, I don't have any idea what's going on. But what I experienced was my mom wants to kick my dad's ass, and the two oldest brothers also want to kick my dad's ass. Now, they can't kick my dad's ass because he's not there. But they got the next best thing. Jim and I, who are the son of my dad. I'm 8. I'm a fucking 8-year-old. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. All I know is that suddenly this house is upside down and it's 3 against 2. It was a fucking nightmare with these 3 motherfuckers. Holy shit. Talk about wearing your heart on your sleeve. God damn. This was not the most fun. So right away, that establishes as the new way it's going to be in this house. So I'm like, what the fuck? So then, every so often I go over to my dad's. And, that's like the oasis. Immediately. It's like, that's where things are cool. Like, oh, thank God. And then my mom, when, like, my dad would show up to pick me up for the weekend. As he's pulling in the driveway, my mom, and she'd say, all right, time to mow the lawn. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm 8. An 8-year-old. I'm like, what? Yeah, first you got to pick up the dog crap, then go mow. So my dad would be waiting out there for like 2 hours. And then my older brothers are just staring at me, tapping their feet, like, yeah, you better get that shit done. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like straight out of the pages of Cinderella. I think. Maybe not. But it was fucking so stupid. So then I would wander over to finally get to my dad. He'd take us to the movies. Kill the hamster, which is ridiculous. That was such a nightmare. In all of these instances that I would hang out with my dad, the one that stands out to me was, I don't know what fucking movie we were going to see, but oftentimes on a Friday, he would take us to Showcase Cinemas in Sterling Heights, now known as Sterling Heights, Michigan. And it was like a 99-degree day, and I brought my fucking hamster. And we get to it's like, 6 o'clock. It's still hot as fuck. Roll up the windows. Oh, yeah, let's go to the movies. So I've got everybody with a vendetta in my home, and then my dumb shit dad rolls up the windows. We come back from the movies with a dead hamster in the car. Like, are you drunk? How could you possibly have done this? Boy, I've had terrible luck with hamsters. Talk about scarring moments. I will never forget that. I was fucked up. He immediately. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that night we wandered over to a pet store and got another hamster. So we're driving to my dad's house with a dead hamster and an alive hamster. I think. I don't even know what happened to the hamster, the dead one. I think my dad might have just put it in like a popcorn bag and thrown it out or something like that. Jesus. So bad. Son of a bitch. But that was, and then he met Joanne. And Joanne, just like I said, so damn cool. She's got one speed, even keel. Even freaking keel. Kenny suggests my dad threw the hamster at a nearby tree. No. Hard to believe, though, that only a decade later, 12 years later, that would happen. Where I actually had it. I mean, I was probably thinking about that at that moment. When that incident happened at college, when I threw the hamster against the tree, for those of you who don't know the story, no, I'm not telling the whole fucking story right now. All I'll park on is when I saw that the hamster was ill, I actually called a vet, and I go, oh, yeah, I'd like to make an appointment. Okay, all right, what's the pet's name? Richie. Okay, great. So what seems to be the problem? Well, he's in his cedar chips, and he's not drinking from his water bottle, and he's leaking something green. Wait a minute, what is this? Oh, it's a hamster. Oh, no, we don't. I go. She says we don't see hamsters. I go, well, why? And she says because they're inconsequential. It's just like having a mouse. I'm like, son of a bitch. Kevin Kuipers is a son of a bitch, too, because he wants me to tell this story. And I'm not going to be your goddamn monkey. I'm not going to tell the story. Shut up. So there you go. I'm happy that I can see Joanne and my dad and Charity Scam Mike and my sister/stepsister Liz. Coming up on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Megan is a fucking dumbass too. All caps yelling at me. Easy. Literally everyone wants you to tell the story. No, they don't. Can you not see Linda? Does she not count? Does Maureen not count? As I see it, you and Kevin Kuipers wants me to tell the story. Have you ever been told to pipe down? Adam says, I am okay if I never hear the hamster again. So quite literally, not everyone wants to hear it, which is the opposite of what you just suggested. Linda says, I hope the college hamster was the last hamster you own. Absolutely. No, without a doubt. Todd in Minnesota with stupid comment of the day says, you don't know if it identifies as a hamster. How dare you assume its gender? Yeah, that's a stupid comment. And enough. In fact, I've got a story about someone changing gender a little bit later on. Too often, dumbasses suggest that Todd says it's meant to be stupid. It's called sarcasm. Well, there you go. I'm not in a sarcastic mood right now. Pardon me. Anyway. All right. Off and running. So glad you are here. In the state of Michigan, everybody's talking about football coaches being suspended. There is another football coach that is suspended in the great state of Michigan. First of all, Harbaugh has his big hearing with like a judge tomorrow. I'm going to feature that. I'm going to play that clip of Chris Russo that I posted on Facebook. It's a fantastic clip. I love Chris Russo. He's an idiot. I just love him. He's on one. I guess there's some show called "What Are You Mad About?" or a segment called "What Are You Mad About?" with Chris Russo, longtime New York City Sirius XM sports talk host. He says he has had enough with Michigan playing the victim.
makes it sound like they got some raw deal, and how dare you do this to Michigan when they cheated? Did we kill the Astros? Did we kill Belichick? You're darn right we did. And now we're going to go kill Michigan for doing the same thing. I cannot believe that Michigan is acting like they somehow got a raw deal. And by the way, no more Michigan announcers on television shows. Stevie, defending Michigan's program. You got no credibility. Guys winning Heisman trophies. Well, boy, how can they do this?
I wonder who you're talking about.
Nonsense! They cheated!
By the way, Tyler says that he's got some arm waves like the NFK going.
Take your punishment, take the 2 extra games, and move on!
Desmond Howard.
What are you talking about, Stevie?
Desmond
I'm
Howard
saying
coming
they
in
shouldn't even
and
be in the college football playoff.
5
They
minutes
got
we
an
gonna
unfair
get.
advantage.
He can call into the show.
We gonna
What are you
get.
talking about?
Yeah, 5 minutes. We.
I made that very clear.
Doggy, you out here starting mess now.
Yeah.
You finna.
What mess did they make?
Desmond about. You finna hear from
How
Desmond.
about Charles Woodson?
Yeah.
How about Woodson is on Fox during the pregame on Saturday saying this is a disgrace. You can't. He's got no credibility. For crying out loud.
You start
He's
network
a
wars,
Michigan
man.
Hall of Famer. He's a Heisman.
They should call this show Black People Laugh at Crazy White Guy, because that's what's happening here. I think that would be the news thing they could do on ESPN. It's just have black people laugh at crazy fucking honkies.
What are they going to say? Yeah, you know, right? Michigan did cheat. Let's suspend them. He ain't going to say that.
Doggy, they doing what they supposed to do.
One other thing. Can we play this?
That's great. I think it's funny. People get so butthurt over that shit. God damn. That has to hurt his voice, acting that upset and not being upset. I think he's pretty much made a career out of it. Ben says the dude is right. He absolutely is right. Michigan has leaned into this so incredibly. Frankly, I would too. I mean, son of a bitch. The meter has been moved so much with the entertainment level of Michigan's cheating, the viewership, the fact that they're selling merch, Michigan versus everybody. So great. I'm happy this happened. This has made what I already find interesting, college football, to be more interesting than pro football. And I'm really interested in pro football. I mean, when the rankings, the top 4 teams that are going to make the playoffs, that comes out. And now Georgia is 1, with Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, and then Florida State at 4. Todd says, who doesn't cheat? I don't know. I mean, probably everybody. But Michigan is the one we're talking about now. Ben says, for the while, it was always Detroit versus everybody. Like there was like T-shirts that said Detroit versus everybody. Now it's lost its luster. The blank versus everybody because someone stole it. I mean, next thing you know, we're going to see Joe Moss versus everybody or Ottawa Impact versus everybody. That's not a bad idea. Those fucking idiots would probably buy that. More on that in a second. But the reason why I brought this up is because in the state of Michigan, there is another coach who is in deep shit and is serving a suspension. Now, the thing about these two schools that are involved in this story, they are Michigan State and Grand Valley State University. First of all, I am sick and tired of people suggesting that following these two football teams is interesting. It's not. There is nothing interesting about Grand Valley State against Ferris State. My fantasy football league is more interesting than high school / college playoffs, which is what this is. These two teams meet in like these little fucking stadiums that have like one bleacher that seats like 60 people. And, goddamn, they don't even have a bus. The players have to drive themselves to the game wearing their equipment. Like literally driving from Big Rapids to Allendale wearing shoulder pads and a helmet. They show up and play the stupid game. Then they like hitchhike home. Well, the coach of the Ferris State team is some jerk. And he, I guess, he's not a jerk. I don't know. I'm just saying that. His name is Tony Anise. And I guess he's won like the championship for the past couple of years because they have this playoff system that's even better than the big boys like Michigan. And, it's win in advance. It's actually a tournament. It's fantastic. Ferris State last year and the year before has won the championship. Chris says they have to wear the gear the whole drive. Yeah. They don't have any place to change. The football field is literally in the middle of a cornfield. There's no structures. So all players have to drive themselves wearing their football cleats and their shoulder pads and their helmet. Maureen writes, Tony Anise is from Corunna, right next door to Owasso, where I live. And then she says, fun fact. There is nothing fun about that fact. That's not fun. Me reading, it's about you. Me reading that the stupid football coach of this stupid football team happens to be from a ridiculous town next to the ridiculous town that you live in. There's nothing fun about that. That's just you trying to get me to talk about you. That's ridiculous. Yellow card. Yellow card. Linda says, I was going to say the same thing. It's a good thing you didn't. I'm in a mood now. Well, this jerk, the team wins the championship last year. And they start passing out cigars in the locker room. And then, so the team's having a good time. They're celebrating. They're getting ready to jump in their cars and drive back. There's a couple players smoking a cigar in the locker room. And then it ends. And then everybody goes home. And then they go back to their school and study pharmacy. That's the big thing at Ferris is everybody leaves the school as a pharmacist. I would love to ask a question to a pharmacist. Why, when I get a refill, does it take 3 hours? You know? Even if you do have to dump the pills that they're coming from to put into my bottle, even if you do dump them on a tray and count them with the metal thing and count 30 of them out and put them into a bottle, that still should not take 3 hours. Can't you just open the bottle, dump them in your hand, and then dump them in the other bottle? That is a 30-second job. Megan says Ferris has an awesome automotive program. You're welcome for that fun fact. You're welcome for a yellow card. First, you yell at me in all caps, and now you give me nonsense. All of a sudden, the governing body, I don't know, NCAA / shit school, reaches out to Ferris and says, hey, after the celebration, you're in trouble, Tony Annese. He's like, why? What the fuck did I do? I didn't cheat. No, but 2 of your players actually lit the cigar. So 2 of his players lit the cigar. I guess you're not supposed to smoke. It's like a smoke-free facility. And because a player's lit a cigar, he gets suspended the following year now for the first playoff game, which happens to be against the other idiot school, Grand Valley. What a bunch of bullshit. This is so dumb. You'll hear from Tony Annese here in this segment with Jack Doles.
At Michigan, Ferris State's Tony Annese will not be allowed to coach his team on Saturday. A one-game playoff suspension will keep him off the sidelines. But as Alec Giannakopoulos reports from Big Rapids, he will be allowed in Lubbers Stadium.
It's not a stadium. It's a set of bleachers.
67-mile stretch separates 2 of the best.
Look at, you see, and they
D2 programs in
they did like a time lapse of the route. This is all you see in this state is a road with 90 billion trees.
It's just 2 great football programs fighting it out, and we just happen to be.
Look at the field. It's surrounded by like people's houses. There's nothing there.
Within 60 miles of each other.
Pulling up to a Ferris State practice, you'll find head coach Tony Annese in his element, but you won't find him at Saturday's game.
I, technically speaking, can be at the game. Just can't. I got to buy my own ticket and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's a good idea.
You see, I'll give this to Tony Annese. He's been punished for a bullshit thing. And he's taking it like a man. And so are the fans of this high school. If anything like this, you think about Michigan. I mean, compared to Tony Annese, they are the biggest bitches on the planet.
After winning back-to-back national titles, Annese was suspended for 1 postseason game after 2 players lit cigars in a smoke-free locker room.
When people said, why would they suspend you for the first playoff game? My answer was, well, because they're going to put us against Grand Valley. That was in March.
As his players get ready to make the trip south, they'll notice a quieter sideline.
He's got to make a stupid shirt that says Ferris State versus everyone.
What are you going to miss about Tony on the sidelines this Saturday?
He's yelling, he's go, 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 go. He's always screaming.
Sorry. Hearing his voice, come on, D.
All these football players, they're the only black people in Mecosta County. Okay, if they wander off of the football football field and the offices, the locals there will get really, really scared.
Fans get aside. Come on, Lorraine, get in the backfield. I'm missed out.
Players know they won't hear from him as he's barred from communicating with the team on Saturday.
What the hell is that guy doing?
Now he's trying to focus on getting them ready for Grand Valley.
When I stop feeling sorry for myself and trying to put it into perspective, I know my team has my back. I hope they fight harder than they
see, this is the way you take a punishment.
would if I was
Harbaugh should take a page off of this guy's, take a page from his book.
on the sidelines.
While he won't make that drive south with his team, he's focusing on the road to a national title.
And self-pity is the greatest form of self-destruction, so I just got to suck it up and be a big boy.
Reporting
there you
from
go.
Big Rapids, I'm Alec Giannakopoulos, News 8.
That's how you do it.
New Proactive Clean. And
He's taking it like a man. He's behaving like an adult. Dan says, wow, so stupid. No smoking, no drinking in the dorms either. Fuck the NCAA. Wow, Dan's taking this hard. I hope the players get a deal with a cigar company and use it to make money. Now, that would be funny. Elitist Eric pushing his way to the front of the line, I guess. You'll find a random goat next to the field and a tire burning facility next door. Chris says, wow, he's not whining. Linda says this is where AI and holograms would come in handy. So that is that. Turning to Michigan. I don't know if this is good or bad, because the headline reads, ex-Michigan staffer Connor Stalions did not file any expense reports. So from the time he walked in the door, his job at Michigan was a sign interceptor. He met with Jim Harbaugh, and they had an interview. And Jim said, okay, this is what I want you to do. We're going to hire you, and you are an employee, and you're going to stand on the sidelines like you're doing something. You're really not. Your real job is you're going to go to all the football games of our opponents in the upcoming months, weeks, years, whatever. And you are going to know forward and backwards every play that is called and the corresponding signs. You're going to video it. And I want you to have a gaggle of people. It's like the mafia, you know? Harbaugh's in charge, and then he gives the order to Stalions, who then gives the order to his crew. And they all are like versions of Connor Stalions, duplicate Stalions. And you all are going to know what the fuck is up. And then you're going to report back to me, and then you're going to be on the sidelines with me, and I'm going to act like I don't know who you are. But it's up to you to tell me what plays are coming in. So we're going to pay you money to do that. And then you go ahead and take care of all this yourself, turnkey. And then I'm going to dig into my pocket and give you cash money to reimburse you. So there's no paper trail. That's how we cover up our tracks. Now, in the event that you are busted of this, you're going to resign and act like you did this on your own. And then we're going to pay you to resign a lot of money. Okay? 1, 2, cheat on 3. 1, 2, 3, cheat. That's what happened. Everybody knows it. It's a wonderful scheme. Harbaugh is a goddamn cheat. He is no Tony Annese. This asshole has his stupid hearing tomorrow, and I hope it goes horribly. This story, though, from Brad Galley from Channel 7 in Detroit. I think. Never any fun when this happens. Oh, God damn it. I hate that guy. It's a terrible commercial. I think these two are famous people doing commercials now because they can't get work, right? Isn't that what I'm understanding? Isn't that how it works these days? All right.
So much, have written so much. Why do you feel like you should be on the sideline and the suspension should not be upheld this week?
I just going to talk to the court about that and make that a meritocracy of the case. You know, I'm not looking for any special treatment or try to drum up any popularity vote. I hate popularity contests. Anyway, just go to work.
Look at, they're in front of the Michigan shoe store, I guess.
Work, get the team ready, find work to do. Certainly not going to sit around and worry about it, or just going to find work to do. That's what I do.
Why when he's not in a game, like on the sidelines, is he still dressed like a coach?
Always leaves you having done something productive.
He's really gone the extra mile to look like a 1950s football coach. You know, he looks like a combination of Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes combined,
as opposed to sitting around and not
hard to believe he was once a great quarterback. Well, decent quarterback.
Doing anything. So that's my focus. Attacking day today with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, and we'll see about that on Friday.
How are you able to implement the game plan and put in all the work last week while also realizing you had to prepare for a situation of you not being on the sideline in a situation where you could be?
Well, just our players, coaches, me, we're strong. We're walking upright, innocent, and with a single track mind of waking up today and taking care of business, go to sleep tonight, and then we'll wake up tomorrow and take care of business again.
You guys won again. And watching that game, you're now 10-0. To do it with 32 consecutive run plays on the end of that box score, it's pretty remarkable in this day and age in football. What made you most proud in watching that game from afar?
Because I got away with cheating, and my team still won despite me not being there.
So many things. Kenneth Grant, his play, JJ, big run. I mean, the leaders, future guys we're having, just the joy that they play with. I always know.
He tried to hold the emotion back. That post game.
Okay, here we go.
Together, and they play for each other.
Talking about Sharon Moore.
Way together. Always happy for the other guy's success, and onward.
Sharon Moore, I don't even think he tried to hold the emotion back. That post-game interview, I'm sure, is another image that'll be, burned into this program's history for a very long time and into your mind. As you were watching that, you said, you're about 5 inches away from the TV screen?
Yeah.
What was your emotion watching
Just
him?
so happy for him.
Yeah.
And all the players are so happy for them, all the coaches.
I agree with Harbaugh. I love that guy. I want Harbaugh to get fired so that we can get that Sharon Moore guy on the sidelines. You want him. I mean, the guy who's dropping, he says, all praise be to God. I fucking love these guys. I love the shit out of you, coach. Fuck you. That guy is fantastic.
Happy for them, but especially Sharon Moore. I mean, imagine that situation. I mean, it's going to the game Saturday morning. I mean, we don't know,
right.
So off he goes, and putting that kind of environment, that kind of pressure, those kind of decisions that can win or lose a football game, rests on his shoulders. Be strong. He is so mentally tough and physically.
Oh, he's not mentally tough. Come on, he was a big pussy. He's mentally weak. A mentally strong person could have kept his emotions together.
That's why he's my favorite of favorites, and just so happy to him. Second game, get a top 10 victory on the road. I mean, you can probably tell his future is going to be very, very bright.
Your daughter, in the public note that she put out about you, the love and appreciation that somebody gets from their kid is about all you want.
But Brad Galley is kissing this guy's ass,
Like Brad said, there's nothing that means more than that.
History of Michigan football. What kind of toughness awaits you on the road again with another test here in the Big Ten?
It's tough Big Ten test. So much on the line, and we're in November. We just gotta take care of business. Starts today, and I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. Wake up, one track mind, getting prepared, so we can go out there and play to our best on Saturday.
If this team beats Maryland, it's again setting up another big matchup like it is almost every season with Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Something you're going to talk about with these guys of again, knowing what's to come?
I predict he's going to say, we're not worried about that now. We're worried about Maryland.
2 weeks from now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they know. I mean, Brad, this is in our wildest dreams, what we hoped for, what we worked for, what these guys ran all those wind sprints for, what they lifted all those weights for was to be in this position.
6 minutes, that was a slog. It was a horrible, horrible job. The only person who liked that interview, the only people are people like Kuipers and Joe Martinez. They actually have boners right now from that. Jesus, makes me sick. Linda was thinking the same thing. Mentally tough. That's your definition of mentally tough. Chris says Sharon Moore seems mentally unstable. Ben says, or Donut Dan says, come on, I bet there is much more of this going on by alumni who would do it for a team for free. When I played Little League, we figured out the other team's signals by the third inning. Ben responds with, that's why this is so stupid. He created this huge cheating scheme when he had no reason to. He's a psycho. Tyler says, good job throwing out all the coaching cliches. Got to get prepared, take care of business, one-track mind. Donko says, I'm a Michigan fan, but he is hard to listen to. Yeah, he's got the tism. There's no question. Harbaugh is Aspie with a touch of tism. Aspergery with some tism on the side. I believe that. Okay, now back to the story. A Freedom of Information Act, we all know those, was filed by the Associated Press. Connor Stallions had never, ever filed an expense report during the 17 months he was formally employed by the football program, according to the school. Now, the school is like, see, look, he was never given a dime for buying all those football tickets. He just did it on his own. He spent thousands upon thousands of dollars in tickets and travel and food, just for fun. You know, even though he is employed by us, and it's so ridiculous, the circumstantial evidence against this guy, and Michigan's acting like they didn't do any fucking thing. It's like, well, then why was he on your payroll if he's traveling hours on end, week after week, to these faraway places on his own dime? What does he do for you on the football sidelines? Oh, he's a helper. He's a pal. He's a good guy. So Michigan's like, yeah, look, no proof that we ever gave him a dime. Yeah, that's because you just gave him cash. Or whatever the fuck. It's very easy to cover that up. This isn't hard. In my opinion, the lack of any expense reports proves his guilt. There are no responsive records. Patricia Sellinger, Chief Freedom of Information Officer at Michigan, replied in an email sent Wednesday. And there's nothing. It just says Connor Stallions. No expenses. He was not so dumb that he would file an expense report for a trip to East Lansing to watch the shitty Spartans play. Or a trip to Mount Pleasant, slipping Coach McElwain $1,000 on the sideline so he can stand there in a goddamn disguise and pay attention to what Michigan State's doing on the sidelines. No cost of him going to Columbus and shooting video. The NCAA has documented plans and budget info outlining the scouting scheme, which I didn't realize that. This is smoking gun shit right here. According to this article, the NCAA has documented plans and budget information outlining the scouting scheme of Michigan opponents. And the Big Ten has those materials in their possession. Well, that's different than what was reported 2.5 weeks ago. What was reported 2.5 weeks ago was the NCAA has found no wrongdoing. So that completely contradicts that report. So one of these is wrong. The NCAA also shared evidence with the Big Ten and Michigan that showed Stallions purchased tickets to games and had people sit in those seats to obtain video of the sideline signals. The judge hearing is scheduled for tomorrow to hear the school's attempt to at least temporarily lift the Big Ten's penalty and allow Harbaugh to coach Michigan against Maryland on Saturday. And then against Ohio State. So For you Michigan fans, this is a big deal on Friday, you know? And one of my favorite things on Friday of last week was the fact that the Big Ten suspended him after the plane took off. And then all you idiot Michigan slappies suggesting right away, oh, yeah, judge on standby was the quote I saw. There was no judge on standby, you dicks. Like he's there standing next to his closet with his judge robe, and he's just going to slide into it and walk onto the bench and say, here we go. I hereby lift restraining order. Or make it so Harbaugh can coach. Ridiculous. And then all you dumbasses are like, yeah, and you know what? The judge is a Michigan alumnus. It's an alumni. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. None of you. I love that none of that was true. And they said, yeah, we're all fucking done for the day. We're not doing this now. It's an emergency, though. It's a big football game. Michigan's playing at Penn State. It's an emergency. You're supposed to be on standby because we're Michigan. You entitled fucks. God damn. The thing about the difference between Michigan and Michigan State, Michigan State isn't so full of themselves when shit goes haywire. You know, like when it's revealed all the Nassar stuff. If all that shit happened at Michigan, if the Nassar stuff happened at Michigan, it wouldn't have gone the way it did with them finally admitting and falling on the sword like Michigan State did. If the Nassar stuff happened at Michigan, Michigan fan would say it's the girls' faults. They did this. They wanted it. They shouldn't have dressed seductively. That's what Michigan fan would have said. If Harbaugh was the one heating up the German war helmet with that chick on the other end of the phone, they would have said she was asking for it. At least Michigan State knows how to punish. Michigan would never do that because they're trying to fucking win the big game. You know what? I support Michigan State more than I do Michigan because of moments where they throw fucking Mel Tucker out on his fat fucking face. The black Anton Chigurh. Michigan doesn't know how to do anything when it comes to this. They're like, oh, no, we didn't do anything. Let's make some T-shirts. It's not our fault. What are you doing accusing us of shit? You assholes. The hearing is scheduled for Friday. Hear the school's attempt. Stallions had been employed at Michigan as a recruiting analyst, an annual salary of approximately $55,000. He resigned 2 weeks after he was suspended when the NCAA and Big Ten Conference acknowledged the school was being investigated. He said, oh, yeah, hey, I've become a distraction. This is interesting. The NCAA does not directly ban the stealing of signs, but there are rules against using electronic equipment to record an opponent's signals, which is what he did. And Jim Harbaugh made him do it. And in-person advanced scouting of future opponents in season, which is what Michigan did. They sent Connor Stallions onto the sidelines of Central Michigan University in a disguise after he gave Jim McElwain $1,000. I made that part up. There are also rules against unsportsmanlike or unethical activities by coaches. Stallions, who's been identified on social media accounts as a graduate of the Naval Academy and a longtime Michigan football fan, has not commented. I heard one asshole on the radio say, oh, yeah, he's just rogue. Michigan didn't even know that it happened. God damn. What a world you live in. What a fantasy existence that is. Stallions, through his lawyer, said neither Harbaugh nor any member of his coaching staff told anyone to break any rules or were aware of improper conduct when it came to scouting. Lie. Harbaugh has denied knowledge of any alleged scouting scheme in his program. Lie. Lie, lie, lie. Unbelievable. Thank God tomorrow the judge is going to say, yeah, this is bullshit. Fuck you. Sit down. All right. Or maybe not. Now, okay. So all of this nonsense has made me now, I still want Maryland to win, and I still want Ohio State to win. And I'm telling you, I swear to God, on a stack of Bibles, had this not happened, I'd be like, go Michigan. I want them to win. Because it's great. Dickface Martinez writes evidence. Well, did you just hear what I said? The NCAA handed over evidence to the Big Ten. And that will come out tomorrow. And then when your coach is told that his next 2 games, he will not be there, you'll have to go, ay, chihuahua, pinche pendejo, tu madre es una puta. Whatever the fuck it is you say. God damn. All right. I got to catch up on some loose ends here. First of all, thank you for watching the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Got to kick you out, though. The rest of the show is available at twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live. I'm trying to get the daily viewership higher than that of the Ottawa County Commission meeting when they have a static image of the wall, when there's actually no meeting going on. I have a long way to go because they have 4 times the audience when there's not even a meeting going on. So embarrassing. You can get that help me by going to Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live. Audio podcast, wherever you download shows. Later on, as soon as this show is done, I take the audio and post it on all the platforms. You can reach out to me via email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. And then, of course, you have Patreon, where tonight we have Who Are These Free Beers? Ben and I will go live on Patreon to break down our heroes show at length. Ben will be focusing on the days that Freebeer wasn't there recently. He took a couple days off to head out the door with the new Mrs. Freebeer, and they went somewhere. And that meant that the rest of our heroes had to carry on without him, which he doesn't like to do. So they let, I don't know why this is, they let one of the little girls run the show. They've got a couple of little girls on the show who are really like brand new to radio. And Hot Wings is there, and I don't know why he doesn't lead the show. I mean, his name is on the sign. But one of these little girls goes on there, and you won't believe the dynamic change in how it sounds now. It's really fucked up. And Ben is chronicling that. I am focusing on a couple of moments where, and I'll have video of this, of the Burn King getting so goddamn pissed off. And it took me back. He makes it so uncomfortable because the fucking super thin skin that he has, which is always on display. You cross that motherfucker and you are going to get some awkward. And that happened. And it was great. Plus, Freeber breaks down. He breaks down something that I've been talking about forever. I have actually said to him before I got fired several times, I go, you are not saying usually appropriately. You are saying the word usually for usually and usual for usual. You need to fix that. And he got super fucking butthurt and thin-skinned out on me and Gregged out. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm talking to a fucking retard who I'm trying to explain to a grown man how to say a word in the English language. And he's getting mad at me because I don't want him to sound like a retard anymore. How is this happening? Why don't you just practice it? You obviously have a major speech impediment that makes you look like a retard. And I'm trying to unretard you. Or just keep saying usable, you dumb fuck. That is tonight, and you can get that show for free. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/Eric Zane and sign up for 7 days free. All right? Sign up for the tier 2 so that you can watch it as I do it live. We'll do it live. Okay. So let me kick the Facebook, X, and YouTube people out. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring Kyle in from a company that used to market themselves on this show in a moment, but I got to do a couple of ads, and then I got to go pee. So, Kyle, you just hang tight. I see you there. I see you. Thank you. You are wonderful. The open and live stream is brought to you by Irvine's, featuring Bossy Megan. ERVines.com. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, who demands on this show in all caps that I tell a story that hurts my brain every time I tell it. She's like, dance, monkey. Dance, monkey. 616-532-6600 for Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Number one in West Michigan for a reason. The number one place to get a vehicle repaired by the best technicians, the best service. Oh, my God. The best coffee machine in the lobby. 616-532-6600. Sometimes works as a dog wash. For those of you who know, you know. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, where the dealerships take cars of their customers to when they can't fix it. Of course, they don't tell the customer that. 616-532-6600 for Irvine's. When it comes to insurance, there's only one name, and that is Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. Frank is the guru on Medicare and healthcare marketplace, Obamacare. You have till December 15th to sign up for Obamacare before we get into the, I guess, the next year. You can still sign up if you have a special circumstance like sudden job loss. But if you are just now, let's say you're self-employed in between jobs or your employer does not offer insurance, now is when you sign up. And if you go to healthcare.gov, you can do it on your own, but why? Why not have Frank do it for you? No cost to you, as always. And he's going to make sure you do this correctly. I've told this story many times. The first year I signed up for healthcare.gov, I did it incorrectly. And boy, I had a mess of a policy. Frank took me under his wing, his big burly man arm, and took care of me for year number 2, and he has every year since. So this is how you do it. Go to buyinsurancehere.com. Make an appointment. Mention me. There's a spot that says, how did you hear about me? Put Zane. It's a drop down. And then off you go. Maybe you need a life insurance policy to take care of you. I'm sorry, to take care of your loved ones if something terrible happens to you, God forbid. Frank's an expert on that, too. Frank Fuss, buyinsurancehere.com. He's the best. Grand Rapids Gold plays Saturday. I'm giving away tickets right now on Facebook if you go to the post and like it. I've got a 4-pack of tickets to give away for the Grand Rapids Gold on Saturday, featuring the Red Panda at halftime. Oh, my God. Little Asian minx on a unicycle, one foot on one pedal, other foot dangling in the air with bowls on it. Kicks her foot, goes flying in the air, lands on her head. How? I don't know. I want to interview Red Panda. I mean, how do you come up with that skill? How do you stumble upon that? It's, I'm not going to lie. The Red Panda is more spectacular than anything you will see. I mean, because think about it. You've seen basketball before. I mean, I love the gold and I love basketball. But how many times in your life do you have the opportunity to see the Red Panda? You can see it for just $14 a ticket. Go to the Grand Rapids Gold website, search it online. Grand Rapids Gold, buy tickets, and off you go. I will be there Saturday. So will the Red Panda. So will the Gold. And I want to see you there. Bring the whole family. It's dirt cheap to go to a game. Okay. Kyle from a company that used to market will be on with us just a minute. I got to go tinkle. The suggestion that EZ pulls a Mel Tugger while interviewing the Red Panda. The fact that Tucker's name rhymes with Tugger, I mean, it's perfect. Mel Tugger. God damn, I love that. Okay. Time to bring in Kyle from a company that used to market on the Eric Zane Show podcast. I usually send him a note the day before with an absurd name for the Thursday broadcast, and I like him to read it. I like him to tell us what the name of the day is.
Zane.
Hey, good morning, Kyle.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm pretty freaking, I'm feeling pretty good this morning.
You always seem to be in like a good mood, you know? You got a very positive attitude.
Yeah, I try to be. You know, well, sometimes I can be a dick sometimes, but it's not very often.
Oh yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to piss you off.
Yeah, it happens from time to time, and yeah, I'm like one of those people that is like so chill most of the time, and so not like things get bottled up, but they get packaged up, we'll say, and then yeah, if I get super pissed, it'll all come out, dude. People are like, well, damn.
God, I forgot what I was just going to ask you. Shit, I was off and running, and then all of a sudden I forgot what I was going to ask you. Do you have you been following? Oh, first of all, what is today's show day name?
Oh yeah, let's okay. Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up right away. Let's take a little fucking look here. Eric Zane. So yesterday, 7:35 p.m. The standard opening of Yo-Yo. So we got Yo-Yo. Tomorrow is an unborn Grease. Wait, that's not right. Tomorrow is an abortion Grease as anal lube Thursday. You down?
Yeah, and you are. I mean, who wouldn't want to be down for abortion Grease as anal lube Thursday?
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, really, it's very environmentally friendly, what you said. You know what I mean? If you're going to have abortion grease, you might as well use it for something else. You know what I mean?
You ever be walking downtown, or maybe like, like occasionally they'll have those events downtown, like Festival of the Arts or whatever. And then someone's on the street corner with a big fucking poster of a dead baby. Have you ever seen that guy?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, what the fuck? That is so off-putting. I mean, I actually want to punish the people who would have the mindset of carrying that sign around there, and I want to punish them by getting chicks pregnant and making them have an abortion.
That's the best way to do it, I'd say.
Oh,
no, seriously, those people, they always pop up. Actually, the most recent time I can remember is when, like, last Christmas when I was in Florida, we were out on the beach, fucking, having like a beach day, like a little family time action, and then J-Mo starts fucking running down the beach. So I gotta like chase him, and what does he happen to be running straight to? These fucking, like, I don't know what they were, like super religious people. They brought like a folding table out onto the beach and like set it down, and like we're talking like full like dress pants, full like long sleeve white shirt and a tie, and it's like 100 degrees or some shit like that, you know what I mean? And they were on the beach and they're ready to fucking disseminate some information about their Lord and Savior, and like James was running right towards them, like, oh man, here I am, I'm on a fucking beach in Florida, and I did not think I'd have to worry about this.
It's horrible. Fuck, I remember in Jersey, I would oftentimes go to the beach. So I'm hanging out at Point Pleasant Beach. It's this incredible beach, white sand. It's awesome. There's like a fucking amusement park right there. And some son of a bitch hired a guy in a goddamn plane pulling a gigantic sign of a dead baby. This fucking billboard-sized dead baby over the ocean. It's like, motherfucking shit, you asshole. Fuck you. Oh, my God.
Wouldn't you just love to have like that sort of discretionary income where you could just pay for that, like, no problem?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. Talk about, I mean, if I had that type of money, I'd be blowing it on orgies and drugs. Why the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ. There's nothing worse than an ultra-religious motherfucker and who is rich. You know, that's a horrible combination.
Let me ask you this little sweetheart of a question right here, Eric Zane. If you were a rich ass dude who had discretionary income and you decided, you know what, I'm gonna fucking do it, I'm gonna get a plane billboard, what would you put on it?
Probably.
I'm assuming you'd fuck with people, so I'm assuming it's going to be intense.
Yeah, I would get a sign that says Ottawa Impact sucks dick or something like that about those assholes.
Yeah, hey, aren't you like I saw? Aren't you like this, like the subject of some man's hatred in Ottawa County or something?
Yeah, there's that old fuck. Yeah, some dick named Jack. He didn't like my nonsense that I was talking, and he decided to break it down. And he's a real weirdo, narcissistic type of asshole. And so he actually, when he was talking down to me, said, "I hope Eric Zane reaches out to me so I can show him the way." So I did. I called him. I go, "Hey, Jack, hey, I'm ready for my lesson, asshole." And he never called me back.
Man, that sucks. You know what I mean? That's like the fucking internet right there. You know what I mean? You can't just like call people out and then just not back it up. You know what I mean? you gotta get after it. You know? I mean, I would love to fight him if we could actually arrange a fight.
You know, like if I had what's the name of that guy? Logan Paul and Jake Paul. Those guys got so much money from doing fun shit online. I mean, if I had that type of money, I would build a goddamn boxing ring in my front yard. And if someone pissed me off, I'd offer them a ton of money to have a fight, like right then and there. You know? Like, I would say, Jack Tuck, sure. I'll give you $100,000 to fight me on my front lawn in my boxing ring. And then we just have people there and cameras and sponsors and we'd fucking fight. And then people would watch the fight.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, you could actually like literally probably do it where you're just like, you know what, come fight me, dude. And like all the proceeds will go to charity or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. And then like, that's a catch-22 right there. He's like, oh, well, fuck, like I don't want to fight him, but I do want that money. Right. You know what I mean?
And otherwise he's out the $100,000 and he looks like a bitch.
Yeah, so, hell yeah. And then, and it's in your front yard, so you get to do, like, weird shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, put, like Vaseline on your knees or some shit like that.
Yeah, sure. You know, we just... Vaseline on your knees, what does that do?
I don't fucking know, Eric Zane. It's just the first thing. I guess if you had Vaseline in your knees, you could do like a sweet little like knee slide move and then go into uppercut or something like that. I don't fucking know, Eric Zane.
I think it just flew out of you somehow. The old Vaseline on the knees. I don't know how effective that's going to be. You know.
Yeah, it won't be.
Okay, so what is your thing on this Harbaugh thing?
Yeah, I don't really care at all. I haven't been paying attention. I don't know what the fuck's going on. When I signed on earlier, I heard you guys talking about it.
So you haven't been following that story, like?
No, yeah, I'm just like, whatever happens, whatever.
Tyler writes, I'd like to imagine that Kyle has Easy in his phone as fucking Eric Zane, dude.
Let me look at you. I just have you in there as Eric Zane. I'll come up with a sweet ass name to put in there for you.
Good. Do you now? Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Lions and something else before I would get into the Lions. The NFL is remarkable in that, like Baltimore, when they beat the shit out of the Lions in that game looked like the worst football team of the year, and the Ravens looked like the best. Since then, the Ravens, they lost, I think, to Cleveland. Cleveland is somehow 6-3. There is just it's remarkable. Houston suddenly has gotten good. C.J. Stroud is a terrific quarterback for them. There's all sorts of these interesting things, and it's so bizarre. You got teams like Denver beating Buffalo in Buffalo. God damn, that was fucking insane. And then the Lions.
That was crazy.
And then the Lions. God damn it. Holy shit. To go into in that crazy game against L.A. against the Chargers.
Was sick.
Holy shit, dude. I was shitting my pants when it was 4th and 2, and they went for it and got that first down when they threw the pass to the rookie tight end. It was insane.
I know. Straight up, like, that was... I hate those decisions. I think there was I don't even fucking know, like a minute or something, or a minute some change left or whatever. And I'm like, okay, it's fucking 4th and 2 here. Like I'm talking about like that feeling like you get in your gut when you're watching something happen.
Yes.
I hate it when it's like that, where you're like, okay, I don't want to go for it on 4th and 2 because it's too scary.
Yes.
But also I don't want to kick a field goal and give it back.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? So
exactly.
Yeah, I hate those moments, dude.
Let me tell you something. The old Lions would have tried to kick it. They would have missed it, and then the other team would have gone down and kicked a field goal and won the game. And the fact that Dan Campbell, the balls on this guy, because we were all thinking the same thing, but that motherfucker dialing up that play, I think that the difference between them and other teams is the coaching. This Ben Johnson guy's a goddamn genius, and the Lions are on fucking fire again.
Yeah, straight up. I do like to think that. I like to think, I guess Aaron Glenn he's doing better this year, but, has his games or whatever. But yeah, Ben Johnson, definitely fucking a genius. And I like this setup where you got like your coordinators who are fucking, doing pretty good and got like some smart shit going on. But your head coach, there's no way, like Dan Campbell, I feel like at his house, I feel like he just walks around like naked 24/7, just fucking veins popping out, just roid raging at people and just fucking his balls. They just can't fit in pants. You know what I mean? Like, it's too intense.
He's like the most ripped coach in the history of anything. That son of a bitch should do the game with his shirt off, And after every game, and he's got a huge dick. He, despite years of steroid use, he's probably got like a 3-foot dick.
Oh, straight up, yeah. He swings it around the house for sure. You know what I mean? He's probably hit a kid in the face once or twice.
And those kids like, Dad, hit us with your dick more.
Yeah, can you imagine how fucked up that story would be if like you had a black eye at school, like your teacher was like, "What happened?" You're like, "Yeah, my dad's huge fucking dick hit me in the face." It was an accident, though. You know what I mean?
Holy shit. My dad's got a huge dick, and he swings it around. Goddamn.
Also, he's Dan Campbell.
Yes, Motor City Dan Campbell. Okay, so you must be predicting a win then for the Lions. They play Chicago.
Dude, I think it's going to happen. whenever I fucking see Chicago, like most of my life, Chicago has been like relatively bad, but then like there was like a little time when I was younger where they were like good for like a while.
Yeah.
So like in my head, like naturally, like same, when I think about like the Browns or like in the NBA, like when I think about the Clippers or whatever, I'm like, these teams are just like, it's God's way that they're not supposed to be good. You know what I mean? Like, they're not supposed to. So I assume that we're going to beat the Bears, but then I always get like a little bit scared. You know what I mean? Like in those games.
I don't take anything for granted. I mean, and this because of what I was talking about to start this chat about football. Any game, any week, it's so fucking unpredictable, and that's what I think makes it really enjoyable to watch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was actually arguing with, I don't know. I wasn't arguing. I was saying some stuff on like one of the sports groups that I'm in on Facebook or whatever, where I'm like, here's the fuck, like, a lot of people in these groups like to be like put themselves as the general manager of whatever team they're talking about. And they're like, oh, well, here's what I would have done. And like, oh, swing this trade, And then like, I'm always like reminding people, I'm like, basically everybody in the NFL is like, equally as good, you know what I mean? Like some guys are just like 0.5% better than the other guys, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but like everybody's pretty fucking good, you know what I mean?
Yes, and a lot of it has to do with how they're coached and the schemes that they draw up. I mean, it's a chess match.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, anything going on spectacular in your life that you want to break down for us, Kyle?
Zane, let me ask you motherfucking this really quick. Did your wife end up going to Frankenmuth?
Yes.
Okay. Ask her this question and then tell me next week. Here's my fucking gripe about Frankenmuth, right? I don't fucking. And I was making dumbass jokes the whole time we were there, but I don't understand where the fuck you're supposed to park in Frankenmuth. Have you been there? Do you know what I'm fucking talking about?
I do not. It's been so long, and I just remember. I remember nothing. Because it obviously is just a hype machine, tourist trap, shit box down.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like so there's obviously the big places. Like when we first got there, we went to that fucking big ass Christmas store, which obviously they have shit tons of parking or whatever. And then we were staying in that water park there, which is super fucking sick. But like outside of that, we were like trying to like drive into the town to like I wanted to go to the fucking fudge place. Like, give me some fucking fudge for sure.
Right.
And then, check out some shops or whatever. And we're just like driving up and down the road. And I mean, the traffic's out of control for sure. And I'm like looking around and I'm like, I don't understand where the fuck I'm supposed to park this car, dude. Because like every time you try to like turn into a place where it looks like it could be a parking spot, like not a parking spot, like a parking lot potentially, like it ain't, you know what I mean? Or there's a bunch of cars in the way. Right. It was just fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, I don't envy you. I hate places like that. Like when we go to Tennessee to visit the Smoky Mountains, you are next to the two biggest tourist traps in the world, Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I avoid those. We go off the beaten path and we don't even see a car because all we do is hang out in the mountains. Those motherfuckers. Jesus Christ, I hate it.
Yeah, that's seriously, that's the way I like to do it too. Just fucking off in that disty. You know what I mean? Like, get me away from the people, which is actually weird because that's how my dad is too. And when I was younger, I always thought that was so funny. I'm like, he's like, I don't really like people. I don't want to be around people. And like, I always thought it was funny, but like now I'm the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. More trees, less assholes. That's what you need to live by. When you're around more trees, you have less assholes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like that a lot.
All right. Let's see. Anything else going on we need to discuss?
Yeah, Eric Zane, let me ask you this. Have you heard of, I was reading this news article about this Scottish lady that was running a marathon. Have you heard about this?
I don't think so.
So this fucking, this lady... she straight up is like running this race or whatever. And then she decides, all right, I think it was like, I don't know, 50 kilometers or however big it was. But like halfway through or something, she just hops in this car for like 4 kilometers or something like that.
Oh,
so, like,
she cheated.
Yeah, she like got in the car and then so then she finishes the race or whatever. And like obviously like now the race officials are all pissed and shit. But they were saying to her, like, dude, you straight up, you went into the car, like we tracked you, like we saw it, you know? And then she said, yeah, I did do it. But actually I told the guys at the end of the race that I got in the car, so that I finished the race in a non-competitive way, whatever the fuck that means, right? And then the race officials are like, oh yeah, hold on, bitch, because let me fucking say this. You took a trophy, because I guess you got in third or whatever. And they're like, you took the fucking trophy, but why did you take the trophy if you were doing it in a non-competitive way? And she's like, whatever, you know? And I think that's just a fucking hilarious story. Dude.
She admitted it and then took the trophy and then took the pictures. She says now she admitted she was wrong to pose for pictures and to accept a wooden trophy and medal when she crossed the line. However, she claimed that arriving from Australia the night before had left her jet lagged. She blamed jet lag as making her not think straight.
Well, hey, you know, it's me as a very, very experienced marathon runner. It's common marathon running etiquette that you don't get there the day before. You know what I mean?
And you know what's also, by the way, the story was in. I see it making the rounds, but it actually happened in April.
Was it a long time ago?
It wasn't that long ago. But yeah, it's a few months old. What's interesting too is the director of the race, who ended up disqualifying her. The director of the ultra marathon's name is Wayne Drinkwater.
Hell yeah, baby.
Which, I mean, what the hell? I'd be like, Wayne Drinkwater is the director. The assistant director is Joey Sweat Your Balls Off. Frank Bad Cramps. Jesus.
All right, and then let me tell you this other story real quick, Eric Zane. This was actually, I never even heard of this website before, but there's some website called The Shepherd Express. It's like, you know, funny news stories, whatever. But get this, and this just happened like right at the end of October. There's a store in someplace in Wales, which, if I understand that correctly, is Great Britain, right?
That's right. Yeah, they're all connected. I didn't even know that for a long time. For the longest time, I'd never heard of that. Someone said, yeah, so-and-so is the Prince of Wales. I go, what the fuck is Wales?
You know, I'm 100% with you right there. But anyway, so this fucking store, they were working with a children's charity or whatever, and, you know, like, give us some shit, like, to give to these kids or whatever. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
So anyways, they had to put out a fucking, like, another report or, like, another sign or whatever to telling people to not leave their sex toys as donations.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, and it says, like, please be mindful that we are a children's charity, and as such, we have ranges of ages that blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But anyways, that is, like, it's funny to me because everyone's always like, yeah, you know, people in, like, the British people are not funny or whatever. But that's pretty fucking funny, dude. Just, like, I'm imagining, like, some hammered dude. He was probably hammered, I'm guessing, at the time or whatever. He's just like, right. I'm going to go home and get my wife's fucking dildy, dude. I'm going to throw this dildy right in the old box.
God damn.
That's hilarious.
That is, man. And then I wonder, because, you know, a lot of times the people that work at those donation places, they're generally idiots. So, you know, I can just picture somebody just putting it on the shelf. It's this big thing with like a fist on the end of it, and and putting a price tag on it. It smells like a goddamn dead pelican. And yeah, I can totally see that. I cannot believe that, but it's hilarious. That going through those stores like Goodwill is entertaining. You can kill like 45 minutes just to see the shit that the garbage are trying to sell and the people that are trying to sell it, man. It's really something.
Yeah, I used to, like way back in the day, back when I was like younger and like trying to be all, like looking good for colleges and stuff. Like when I was in like the National Honor Society and stuff, we used to do like donating time, I guess you'd say, at Goodwill. And like, I used to like put shit together, I guess assemble shit that they would get from. But anyways, yeah, like that's 100% my experience, dude. There's like crazy ass fucking people in there, like asking me crazy ass questions about crazy ass items that came from other crazy ass people. It was a wild experience for sure.
I think we're getting out of the mode where people, because that was like a cool thing to do, go buy someone's used clothes, and it's like, what? No, don't do that. What are you, an asshole?
Man, when I was, get this, when I used to work at JCPenney, I would have probably been like, at this point, I was probably like 20 or 21 or something like that. But I was like, listen, guys, here's what I think we got to motherfucking do. And I was like, it's going to be better for everybody in the fucking world and better for JCPenney and better, but for anything, right? So here's what you do. You change the whole fucking like clothing store / whatever, like business model to where you make all the clothes that like you put on a shirt or whatever, and it's only going to last you one day, right? If you buy it for like a penny or some shit or like a nickel or whatever, and you put on the fucking shirt and it's made out of shit that's like, going to like biodegrade or some shit like that.
It's made out of like Kleenex.
Yeah, some crazy shit like that, right? So you get done with your shirt and pants during the day, you just toss those fuckers in like a recycle bin or something like that. And that way, the stores, they're selling way more shit. Yeah. You don't have to wash your fucking clothes, which is actually where this idea came from. Because as a 21-year-old male, I was like, I don't want to do my fucking laundry. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that could be like a sick ass fucking idea that changes the world, baby.
This sounds like one of those ideas that someone who's stoned all the time comes up with.
I was 20, 21. You know what I fucking mean?
Yeah, those are called ideas.
Yeah, for sure. And I've had several more exactly fucking like that. Some more practical, some way less.
Yes, of course. Okay. Any new babies coming in your future?
No, definitely not. No new babies coming. There's conversations. We're in talks.
Okay, all right.
We're signing contracts and shit. But I don't fucking know, dude.
All right. As always, thank you. And next weekend is Thanksgiving. I won't be with you. I'll be traveling. So I will talk to you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Hell yeah.
Hell yes. Have you made any plans?
Yeah, we're going to Blue's family's house because last year we did, Thanksgiving at my parents' house and Christmas with them. So you got to flip it to be, Democratic or whatever.
Yep, absolutely. I know how that is. All right, as always, thank you.
All right, love you guys. Deuces.
Peace. There you go. Kyle from a company that used to market on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Now spending his money on the local thrifty nickel or whatever the hell that is. It has shown up in my mailbox once, and I did see the ad. I did see it. And then I took it and threw it away. Okay? Think about that. They made the business decision to be put on a piece of shit junk mail as opposed to me explicitly detailing how important it is to rent one of the products that they have. As we finish this segment up, Joe Martinez giving me a weird type of cryptic, maybe I'll try that, in his marketing. So now he's getting like, he wants to like rub my nose in it because of all I'm doing is reporting what has happened with Harbaugh. He's hanging that over my head. Maybe I'll try that. And then he writes, go Blue. Harbaugh rules. Eric sucks. The only thing that's going to stop Joe Martinez from all of that tough talk is Michigan getting beaten. Then the steam will be, wind will be out of his sails. He'll lose steam. That's what I'm trying to say. Linda says, I work for a direct mail company, LOL. Joe says no evidence, and then he says a word in Spanish that I don't know. Babadoos, babados, babados. Well, all right. I'm just telling you that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're the same retard who said that there is a judge on standby and he'll be coaching against Penn State. You said that. And you had no idea what you were talking about. None. That is not true. But yet you heard it somewhere. You saw it somewhere. So, hey, that's good enough for me. I'll just take it and run. So when you say there's no proof, I take that with no grains of salt. Okay? Joe Martinez says there was, and the judge ruled. I don't think that means what you think it means. You said there's a judge on standby. He'll be coaching against Penn State. Did he coach against Penn State? No. Dummy. God damn. What a pain in the ass you are. Thank you to Kyle from a company that used to market on the Eric Zane Show podcast. I want to talk about the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. When it comes to getting a mortgage, 231-332-6505. Maybe you need to get money out of your home. Very possible. Let's say you're in that home and you've lived in it for 10 years. You got a nice little pile of equity built up. And the roof needs to be replaced. What are you going to do? Are you going to use a credit card to pay for it? No, that's insane. Oh, how about this? The guy who's putting the roof on, he says, hey, you can sign up for a line of credit, and the interest rate on that is ridiculous. Or use your home's equity, and you barely even notice it. Okay? Let's say you get 20 grand out of your home. What you pay off, when you do pay that off, you're using the low mortgage interest rate as opposed to the credit card bill or a line of credit through the guy who's putting the roof on. Do that. People do that. I've done that countless times. That's what it's there for. Okay? The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage can make that a reality in the quickest way possible, paying extra attention to all the details for you. Rolling out the red carpet. Ask about the red carpet treatment from your old pal EZ. 231-332-6505. No matter where you are in the U.S., reach out to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Now, despite all of his go blue hysteria, why the hell, Joe Martinez, do you even root for that team? If you walked onto that campus in Ann Arbor, they would arrest you. Okay? You're more of a Michigan State guy. You should be rooting for Michigan State. You know, that whole blue-collar attitude of yours, that's a Michigan State thing. Michigan State makes farmers. For fuck's sake. I don't know why you're so... You and Kuipers both. I mean, Kuipers would be walking around with a fucking dunce hat on. Jesus. Anyway, Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling. There is still time left. You have to the end of the month to schedule your furnace to be tuned up and cleaned, which is something you should do every month. And so you see a lot of the HVAC companies in town are pushing that, get it tuned before you start using it every day as the temperature falls. The difference with Joe is, well, first of all, his rate of $79 is already lower than everybody else's. But he, until the 1st of December, the amount you pay is not $79. It is $0. And this isn't one of those bullshit things where you pay Joe and then he gives you a rebate form and you have to mail it in with proof of insurance and all this other information. No. This is how this works. You book with Joe, 616-516-8579. They come, they tune up the furnace, and then they leave. That's it. You don't pay a dime. He turns in all your information to DTE Energy, who he's working in cooperation with, and then they pay him the $79. That's awesome. I think Joe might even be at home drinking, and he has like his crews go out and do it for him while he counts his cheddar and beats off to his Jim Harbaugh poster. That's what I think happens. But anyway, get your furnace tuned up for $0. Gonzalez, 1969, writes, you and Joe Martinez going back and forth reminds me of Hockey Night in Canada, Don Cherry and Ron McLean. Oh, that's cool. I remember those guys. Joe writes, we are Michigan. Referring to being in Ann Arbor, he says, I was already there. Going again. F State. We are Michigan. Look at that. I am looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 comments, and 15 of them are Joe Martinez. Hang on a second. I got to log in again so that I can sit his fucking fat ass down for 600 seconds. All right. There you go. In fact, yellow, yellow, red. For that, you are now seated. Got to keep it real. You have broken a major rule there with the unbelievable amount of messages. Tyler says, warming up the band hammer, swinging shoulder. Linda says, thank God. I don't know why Linda would say that. Yeah, he's getting... See, the thing is, Michigan fan is remarkably annoying. Okay? They don't see things any other way. Joe is using his sock account now. So now I got to sit that one down. Son of a bitch. He has got like 2 accounts or something like that. The guy's quiet for 4 years and 10 months. And then Harbaugh gets in trouble and is now banned. And all of a sudden, he's a chatterbox. You can't stop him from talking. Okay. This happened in Mexico. It's old. I'm not going to play that. This happened yesterday. Yesterday, deer season opened up. Firearms deer season. I think it's, 15 days in Michigan? You got 15 days to go harvest your deer, whatever the fuck. So that's a big thing around here. And I guess some local couple, I don't know why this is a news story. I guess it's a news story because of where I live. But a local TV station decided that they needed to do a story on a husband-wife duo that if you kill a deer, you bring it to their house, they process the deer. So whatever, butcher it, I guess. Isn't that what processing is? And then after they process the deer, they will deliver the goods to your home, the meat. So they've added the element of delivery to it. Which, why the fuck would that be a news story? I think because they know who the audience is. You have so many Hilljacks that are part of this community that this story will be unbelievably popular online and on Facebook. So here you got this chick. She's at the back of the truck here wearing her stupid camouflage shit. And by the way, if you're triggered by dead deer, you will see a lot of them here. Okay? This breaks my heart. It's some of you are like, oh, you big pussy. It's like, yeah, I know. I just can't even think about it. I know we have to have this in Michigan, and I will eat your food, but I'm going to do it the way it's done in a civilized world. You go to the store and you buy it.
Across the state were able to dust off their guns and head out into the woods today, as this was the first day of firearm hunting season.
NewsA's David Horak tells us how a couple of them who landed a prize buck are also promoting their unique business.
Firearm season is a time for hunters to dust off the guns, but
old David Horak here doing the shot in front. Look at all these dead deer hanging. That's what you do. Every small community has a place like this where they got these gallows that are up, and then these sick fucks go. They kill the deer, and then they bring it over to this place, and they hang them on these gallows, and then they stand around and jack off. That's a regular thing around here. It's called the deer jack off.
Also a time for a particular couple to also cash in on a business opportunity.
212 is the hanging weight. Hey, congratulations.
Okay, so these two are happy. Look at this is a typical Michigan Hilljack pile of shit couple.
Oh, that's awesome.
Karina Bowen's first deer on opening day is a special one since it's also her first buck.
Look at the dude stringing it up. He's got a cigarette in his mouth, of course.
Ever.
I'm totally going to get it mounted.
Okay. Now, this chick has a lot of the qualities to win the Honorable Andrea Schaefer Hilljack of the Year award. Fucked up teeth, mottled skin, dead eyes, and mossy oak
It's going to be my
camouflage
birthday present
for her clothing.
Since it's also her first buck.
And sounds like a stupid idiot.
Ever.
I'm totally going to get it mounted. It's going to be my birthday present. So, totally happy about that. And
I'm totally going to get
Let's go to big black dick because I know you want to.
going to do venison and meat sticks, definitely.
Getting it processed to make...
What an idiot. You can just hear how stupid that chick is.
But special one, since it's also her first buck ever.
I'm totally going to get it mounted.
And then I'm going to get mounted.
Be my birthday present. So, totally happy about that. And then, going to do venison and meat sticks, definitely.
You should take the money and get some braces.
Getting it processed to make that is not easy, but Bowen's boyfriend Brian Feenstra had an idea.
It's a couple of old concepts that have been
Yeah, this guy, you can tell. Ottawa Impact all the way.
proven.
You can see him coming a mile away.
The DoorDash concept, bringing food to people's door, but then also the butchering concept.
I thought it was gonna a crazy idea, but honestly, he's talented and smart, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Enter Deer Dash, Feenstra and Bowen's.
I think one of you actually said Deer Dash in the comments.
Business that picks up deer at hunters' homes, butchers the meat, and returns it in vacuum-sealed packages.
Not everybody's a 20-year-old guy with a pickup truck that's strong and can lift his deer into the back of his pickup. And quite frankly, in the world that we live in, it's so busy out there. Everybody's got a busy work schedule now and families to be taken care of. They don't want to spend the extra time driving half an hour to their local processor.
Over the last year, the couple...
I wouldn't be surprised if Deer Dash actually paid the TV station for this, and they're making it out to be... You see this from time to time. Why are you doing this as a news story? And I can bet you any money they paid for this so-called news story.
Says they've gotten a few customers and garnered interest from others.
I mean, otherwise, why would they give a shit? They wouldn't. Look at this idiot.
Making our job a lot easier if they're just loading them up right here from here and taking them in. This is going to make a lot of hunters pretty happy.
Which to them is a good problem to have.
Overload is a real thing. We're gonna have a few sleepless days coming up here for sure.
So firearm season goes through November 30th.
Why can't the hunters look like David Horak here? Why do all the hunters have to look like slobs?
We're near Bangor. David Horak, News 8.
You know, they should have they should work on like how they look out in the open. When a hunter is out in the wild, why does he always have to look like a psychopathic piece of shit? Speaking of psychopathic pieces of shit, Nick at the arena writes, I got my buck at 7:30 this morning. Nick refers to that local sleaze who was talking as wife material right there. Linda writes, my 10-year-old great nephew got the biggest deer out of anyone at the farm yesterday in 8-point. What? You have a 10-year-old out doing that hilljack shit? Brandis picked up on that skank voice chick. Ew, that voice and her word choices. Yuck. Oh, you could just hear the meth pouring out of her eyes. Nick writes, if you're too lazy to deal with your deer, don't shoot it. I process all deer myself. Yeah, I think that if I was an animal enough to participate in this horrible, horrible endeavor, I think that would be the way to do it. You know, what is it called? Field dressing? Don't you have to kill the deer, and then while it's laying there on the forest floor, the meadow floor, the ground, you have to do something with it. Don't you have to take out all the internal organs and just pitch them over your shoulder or some shit? And then I think I saw it in a movie where that might have been Red Dawn, where they make the kid kills his first deer and they make him eat the heart or take a bite out of the heart. Yeah, that's a good idea. Then you got to lug the fucking thing to where you can get it out of the woods, and you take it over and you string it up. This is with the extent of my knowledge. And then at some point, you got to process it, kind of like when you're cleaning your fish. So that, I guess that means skinning it and chopping its head off and cutting all the important chunks of meat. You got to know what the fuck you're doing here. I can't imagine that having the skill. That actually is a skill. That's like you have the skill of a butcher at that point. I couldn't do it. I just can't. I can eat it once you, process it and you package all the chunks of meat up. Then it's a different world. It's totally different. Tyler says you then have to cut off its head and wear it proud like an I am a veteran hat. Oh, those fucking hats. Hey, I'm a veteran. Shut up. Whatever. I'm a dock worker. I'm a lawn care specialist. I heard Greg making a big deal about something veteran related the other day. I think when he went off with wife number 2, they have a family member who retired from the military, and they were making a big deal about it. And the whole business of, oh my God, serving for it. It's like, it's a job. They get paid. That's a career. That is a job. It just so happens that part of the job that you sign up for may involve you massacring villages. And I'm guessing that they're like, I can't wait to massacre a village. It's still a job. Volunteer job. Now, for me, the ones that were drafted who didn't want to go and fight and went and fought during wartime, now those are the motherfuckers who like, all right, you know, some guy on a goddamn swift boat lighting up a Viet Cong village. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, anyway. All right. So there you go. That's a I guess a business. Who knows? On the Patreon, I need to tell you about the famous person, very, very famous, very, very funny person who has a daughter that is now a dude, has become a son. As you know, transgender. I have a transgender person that I love very much in my family. My daughter's boyfriend was born a chick and is now a dude. How about that? You'll hear my thoughts because this famous person is like, oh boy, there's some adjustment needed. I don't know if I can handle this. Now, I don't have a daughter that's becoming a boy, but I know people that have, including the mother of my daughter's boyfriend, who used to be a chick. I want to talk about that. I don't know if there's necessarily anything funny in it, but I still want to talk about it. And then tomorrow, we have the big Michigan hearing. Can you imagine how butthurt Joe Martinez is going to be if the judge says, yeah, no, you're going to be suspended? We will be able to hear some of the evidence in that. The Big Ten is going to be, well, we do have evidence. And here it is. She's going to be like, well, yeah, you fucking cheated. Sit your fucking ass down. Jesus. That's the way it should be. Okay. The asshole of the day today. Yesterday, we made it to be Mr. Free Beer, just for kicks, because I didn't have anybody else. If you have any nominations for asshole of the day, by all means. Otherwise, I have to figure this out for myself. Joe says Maryland is getting beat. Oh, no, he's back. He's back. Oh, God. That's terrible news. The Ferris State football coach knows how to take his punishment. Harbaugh does not. Thus, all the whining. If he were a man, he'd say, yes, I cheated, and I'm taking my three games. Harbaugh is your asshole of the day. Brought to you by TC Paintball. Every asshole of the day that I put on there, Rick agrees and endorses. He will join us tomorrow if he's not jet-setting and doing vacation things with his family. There you go. That's my time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Otherwise, I'll talk to you on Patreon. Thank you. I will leave you with one more 10-minute banning. Joe Martinez gets his second banning. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.